Thanks everyone for joining us. Our agenda for today is a brief welcome by the Cycling Finance Club president, followed by a brief introduction of our moderator and guest speaker. We will continue with Q&A. We have received questions from all of you, and we thank you for the engagement. We will close with a couple of announcements from the club in closing remarks.
All right. Awesome. So we could just move on to the next slide. Well, thank you again, everyone, for your time today. My name is Lani Acaro, and I am the president of Zickling Finance Club. I'd like to welcome you all for our first event of the spring semester. I know this is second week of school, and certainly appreciate everyone's commitment into getting involved at the club, getting involved at school. For this semester, we have a lot of events and very meaningful agenda for everyone to learn more about the finance industry. And we would like to thank Stephen again for allowing us to learn more about you and your career and your journey and sharing it with us today. As well as Ignacio. Ignacio is the person who brought this opportunity to us, so we certainly appreciate your time, your commitment, and all your efforts to get this event going, even if we had a little short time to prepare for this event. So certainly thank you, everyone, for signing up for this event. And we are very excited to welcome everyone for this semester. And if there's anything that you guys are interested in terms of positions or any events, ideas that you think might be helpful for you as a student here at Baruch, please let us know. We will certainly take your feedback. And I hope you enjoy our first event of the semester. With that, I'll pass it over back to Vanessa to introduce our interviewer. Thank you.
Thank you, Lani. Today, we will be having an interview series, which is moderated by Ignacio Estrada, who is a trader, entrepreneur, and is currently a Master in Finance student at Cycling. He's avid in Bloomberg terminal skills, NASDAQ 100, and oil future markets. Most recently, Ignacio has interviewed Peter Truckman, a Wall Street expert, who shared his thoughts on the economy, technical and fundamental analysis, successful trading, and the psychology of investing. Again, please welcome Ignacio Estrada.
Thank you, everyone. So thank you, everybody. Are you going to introduce Steve?
Vanessa? Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi, Ignacio. How are you?
All right. Well, Stephen, it's pretty much an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Again, thanks a lot.
Markets alive. So.
Yeah, I know. I mean, for anyone who is seeing us right now, if you guys want to check Stephen's website, you can go to tradeeasy.com, and you guys can subscribe and see exactly what you guys are seeing right now. He's trading live everywhere. So it's pretty interesting to see him trading every time. Like over there, he's talking to his students about what trade should they take and everything. So, Stephen, again, thank you a lot for having this time for the graduate and undergraduate students. So I'll start my questions. For example, pretty much it's you've been trading for around 40 years, and that's way too long. And more than 90% of the traders, they lose money in the stock markets. Why do you think few people succeed, and what's your strategy?
Well, that's a great question. Most people fail. Most people I come in contact to from the past, I've been doing this 40 years, and you have to have a complete mindset of discipline. And what I think what really hurt people, what a lot of times is people think they know it all, and people don't want to learn the right way. I decided to start Trade Easy because I felt that there were so many people in the world that don't know what they're doing, and they're being misled by so many potential gurus. You know, I've traded now 40 years. I traded nearly 2 billion shares in my life. I was the #1 day trader in the world for close to 4 years. So basically, what people tend to do is they tend to go into options because a lot of people don't have the $25,000 to day trade. So what they'll do, they'll go and they'll start with options. They think because, you know, maybe for $3,000, they could go buy an option in Microsoft. And if Microsoft goes up, well, you know, it'll participate for a $3, you know, a call for argument's sake. But they don't understand that if Microsoft stays where it is or it drops, and especially if they're buying out of the money calls, they're just getting devoured in premium. And they'll go back again, and they'll go back again, and they'll go back again, and again, and again, and again. And guess what? What happens is they get absolutely slaughtered. And they just keep making donations in the wing. Nobody really knows what they're doing. So I tell people, don't do a damn thing. Learn from me, right? Options are for pros, and options are for people who know what they're doing, meaning the fact that if you do credit call spreads or put calls, credit spreads, or vertical credit spreads, things of that nature. But you don't want to be in a situation. I've taken so many people in the world who have traded options and learned how to trade futures. They're like, oh my God, futures. Well, there's no difference in trading a future, a stock, an option, or Forex or Bitcoin. It makes no difference. I think the reason why people also fail is because they don't have a mentor like myself, someone who's done it, and they don't have technology. So I'm using my own technology that I spent close to 9 years of my life building, okay? And I'm not just looking at a Yahoo chart or a Bloomberg chart or a TradeStation chart. I spent 9 years of my life building designing pattern recognition, predictive analytics, combination theories. So I think, you know, what makes us successful is not only to identify trends in the market, but buy and sell reversals with buy and sell divergence and correlation studies. So for me, I think that's where people fail. People, and they don't want to do the work. People want overnight success. They see these Instagram guys driving Lamborghinis, all the bull crap, you know, they're wearing Rolex watches. They think they're going to get rich quick overnight. Well, guess what? It took me, what did it take me? 10 years to work, to get acclimated. And then I spent 10 years trading real aggressively, and then 10 years of building my software. So what I think what people tend to do, people just tend to completely think, and they're fooling themselves. And I think that's the key here.
Great. That's a great answer. And then I know you've been there. I've been on Trade EC as well, watching you trading live, and I know the impact you've created to a bunch of people. So I really encourage every student that they want to learn how to trade to join Steven, and you guys will learn a lot from him. Another question I have, it's level 2 data and order flow. I know you don't use level 2 data and order flow, and a bunch of traders and trading floors, they use it. Why you don't use it? And probably if you want to explain the people who are connected that probably they don't know what.
I don't try to complicate. I spend my life building the strategies I built. So I just use a ladder system, and I just put the orders in based upon the strategy. I don't need to look at level 2. I mean, I do look at depth of the market, but that's irrelevant though. Depth of the market really means nothing when you're trading. Depth of the market really is predicated on the fact that what you want to do is you want to be able just to use the ladder system. So, if you want to short S&Ps and you put a 76, 78 offers in to go short, well, who cares if there's 300 to 400 contracts offered up there? It really doesn't make a difference. What you want to be able to do is to really learn. You got to find a good broker and the broker that fits your needs. And then you have to learn that platform. And once you learn that platform, that's how you're going to, these are all steps. Like if you lean the ladder and against the house, this is one of the steps that you need to have. I don't look at level 2 data just to make investment decisions.
Absolutely. And I like here in the finance school, and there's a bunch of teachers that they pretty
1.5 to 75.5. Look at them drop. Should make a higher low here. Look at them drop. Lower your stops. Wow, what a short.
And one of the good
Sorry about
questions I
that.
have. No, no, you're good. You're good. I know you're trading. I'm sorry. Thank you a lot for your time, by the way. I mean, there's a bunch of people who they don't like technical analysis and they just focus extremely on fundamentals. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think there should be a
I think
combination of both?
that's I've I'm not a believer in fundamental analysis at all. I I'm all about technical analysis. I believe that it's a universal language, and I believe that anyone who does fundamental analysis, I think it's a flawed game. I really do. The only time I ever used fundamental analysis when my daughter was younger, we went into a Lulu. I said, "What's a Lulu?" I walked in, the store was jumping up and down. I said, "Oh my God, Ali, I got to buy the stock." It was $78 a share. It went to 378. So, yeah. So basically, Lulu was a good fundamental. I walked in, I couldn't even walk. I was like this. I said to my daughter, "Come here, what do you want?" She goes, "I want 2 pair of leggings." I said, "Okay, I'm going to go buy the stock for you in your own personal account." It's like insane, you know.
And
That's why I told
following that, do you invest in stocks though, or
no,
you just day trade it right now?
just trade.
Just
What do
trade?
you want to do? Yeah, because there's too much money to be made intraday than buying and holding.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I know you trade forex futures, bonds. Do you and what market do you think it's the perfect market besides futures? You just said for a beginner right now.
For a beginner, I mean, what, like, so when I want to learn to ride a motorcycle, my friend said, "Get a Yamaha, get a Kawasaki, get a Suzuki." I said, "No, I'm buying a Harley." I think for me, the most important thing is to learn how to trade the S&P futures. If you can master that, then I mean, it's nothing else, you know? So again, the most important thing is for people to recognize that, anything worthwhile doing, you need to put the work in. You need to really understand, you know, like, why did I know on that last trade to cover the shorts, right? And was going to make a higher low, because it's all based upon mathematics and technicals, right? And I can tell you that I've been doing this so long that, like, each of us who are on this call and people who are, we all have our own DNAs, right? And the markets have their own DNAs. And that's how I designed the program, because I started seeing things repeat themselves over and over again. It's like today in the United States here, it's Groundhog Day. So you ever see the movie Groundhog Day, where he lives the same day over and over again? Well, these patterns repeat. Ignacio, you've been with me for a while. You see how these patterns repeat, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I know they repeat, and you guys can see Steven right there talking and how emotional he gets about stock trading. But I want to get to that aspect about emotions, because I mean, you can get a bunch of passion for trading and emotional, but how do you keep your emotions away in terms of emotions affecting your trading and eventually losing money?
Um, I don't understand. You're saying, how do I hold emotions back?
Yeah, like how do
I
you?
mean, I'm freaking crazy. Like, you got to be nuts to do this, right? At times, I mean, especially when you're trading 500 S&P contracts. I mean, there are times when you're trying to buy them back and they touch your bid and they run right back up on you. You just want to just throw something. I mean, it's just, I've broken over 50 telephones in my life. So I mean, I have rage that's, I could eat steel some days.
No, yeah, I know, and I mean, it's truly a good thing and a crazy thing to watch you thrive every day from the morning and how passionate you get about trading. And I want to get to another questions, pretty much more about the economy. How do you see the overall economy right now, knowing that the Fed said they will keep whatever it takes to get to 2 or 3% of inflation? What are your thoughts on how do you see the economy right now?
I think that the economy per se is not, I mean, I think unemployment's strong to a degree. I don't believe any of the numbers they give you. I think numbers can always be changed. I think that the Federal Reserve should not be taken light. I think that they're completely incompetent. They watch the market scream to all-time highs, and yet they did nothing to bring the market calm in the high. They caused 9.5% inflation. Their mandate was 2%. I think that this is one of the biggest bear traps going here. I think during the year we're going to see. I think the 30-year bond market is telling we're going into a recession. So I think the bond market is the purest of the pure markets, and I think that the economy, there are some pockets that are strong, and I think that people's are living on their credit card levels, debt levels are through the roof. I think the highest ever. But you can't weigh all these things in the mindset of trading, because you'll just never be able to pull the trigger. You can't have a fundamental negative outlook and then ignore a great buy reversal, or, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You're going to get slaughtered. So what you want to do is to be able to recognize hold on a second. All right. So I think that when you're trading the markets, you cannot come in here with any opinion, period. You know, I had a guy I sat next to for years. He blew up at least 3 times of his own money because he hated when the market went up. He could not stand the market going up. I said, Johnny, you can't, what are you doing? I said, it's insane what your behavior, you know, just trade the market, what you see. I don't know why they're going up. This is what it gave me 100 reasons why they shouldn't be going up. Market went up. And now owns a landscaping business.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a pretty interesting thing about trading. There's a bunch of successful people that they jump into trading, and then they don't understand that they could be totally wrong, and that's fine. And what are your thoughts on algorithmic trading and all those algorithmic traders right there that a bunch of hedge funds and private equity they're using right now to trade the market?
So I think it's very hard for people to write strategies, and I wrote my own strategies. So these strategies I teach to everybody. I don't do automated trading or automated programming. I believe there's a fault in that. A lot of times you get bad ticks from the exchanges, and anything can happen per se. I just think that what's really important is you try to take every single day and hit your goal. Try to make it 0.5 to 1% a day. If your goal is 300 a day or 500 a day or 750 or 1,000, this is life-changing money to people. Especially so many people now are coming to me who are out of work, who've lost their jobs, and single mothers, or people who, have some assets, but they can't find a job, and they want to learn to trade and try to listen. You make $500 a day, not taking any days off. It's $125,000 a year. I mean, that's being financially independent. It's damn good money. You make $1,000, it's $250,000. And that's doable here. I had a young man yesterday, drove from Long Island. The kid's averaging about $800, $900 a day at 22 years old. That's phenomenal money.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and that leads me to another point. Well, there's a bunch of, as I was saying, bunch of graduate students and undergraduate students who want to join. Probably they want to join you. Probably after this meeting, there's a couple they want to join you. What would be your advice to those students joining the market and joining the day trade, especially coming from a finance perspective, that they pretty much think that 1 + 1 = 2, and that equation is going to be on the market that all the time? Sometimes the market's going to be, you're going to do a good trade and the market's gonna go wrong? What would
So first of all, I would tell all the graduate students or all the students in this program here that my door is always open to anybody for free. People can come in, spend the day with me. I don't charge them. They can call me. My number is 914-500-7484. I speak to people all around the world. I'm in over 100 countries. So I speak to people all around the world. And if you're really serious, I just say this to you. If you're really serious, you've never met anybody in the world. I deal with the top guys in the world. Okay. And I live and breathe this for 20 hours a day. You need to have the passion to want to learn. If you have the passion, I'll teach you I'll teach you everything you need to know, like leading a ladder against the house. If there's 10 ladders to get to that light bulb to change, well, I'll get to all the steps here. Wow, so basically, I'll teach them, what they need to learn. They need to learn the terminology. They need to learn the strategies. They need to learn the charts, next year, like the way you did, right? They need to pick a broker. They need to practice. They need to practice putting orders in. They need to learn scaling in and scaling out. They need to, oh my gosh. Holy moly. Short the world, I told you. Look at them drop. Oh my Lord. So I mean, just something like that. That's like $1,000 of people on that one trade. I mean, and we do that 50 times, 30, 40 times a day, just on the indexes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not including foreign exchange or Bitcoin or anything. Wow. So I mean, I'm 60 years old in 7 days, and I have more passion now than I have when I even first started, So I think that was
that's great. And for example, there's a bunch of people who are working and probably they're working half time and going to school half time. And if they just have 1 hour and a half a day, or probably 2 hours a day.
It doesn't make a difference. The more hours you apply yourself, that's why I stream, right? And people, trust me, if this is something, if it takes you, damn it. So I think, if it's an hour and a half hour, 2 hours a day, the more and more and more, because everything I do is based upon 2 words, repetition and visualization, right? So if you can gain that, right? If you can gain the understanding, okay? Then basically it'll all sink in. It's like if you took a puzzle and you start putting the pieces together, it's all going to come together.
Great. One last question before the Q&A, and it's just, how many monitors do you have right there, back there, like 20, 30?
39. I need 6 more.
Oh, that's great. Well, it's 3:45 right now, so we're leaving some spot for the Q&A. Lani, or Vanessa, you guys are there?
Hi, well, thank you. I appreciate your time, and there's a lot of passion in here coming from Stephen, so we certainly appreciate that. We'll pass it over to Diprajit to go a little bit over the questions that came from the students. And if there's any other students in here that has any questions and would like to speak up, please just raise your hand. We'll call you. Irfan, I see that you have your hand up. You want to ask the question?
Hi. So here are some of the questions we collected from the survey.
Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Diprajit De. So one of the question was like, how to start investing in trading with minimum loss.
Okay. So that's a great question. investing and trading are two different things. Investing is you're buying something, you're holding, you're trying to build something for your portfolio for long term. That's not what I do. Even though I do that to a degree, intermediate long term with my own money on different aberrations in the market. However, and as far as trading, well, you have to understand that when you're trading, the number one thing is called preservation of capital. You need to really understand the thought process of understanding preservation of capital. So when you're trading, you have to have, your stop orders in, and that's what I teach all that. I teach preservation of capital. I don't teach investing. What we do here is very explicit to day trading and understanding market direction on various different assets. So I think that you start with an account, you paper trade it, and then you just take odd lots or micros if you're trading futures, and you just participate in that fashion.
And the next question is, how much of a quantitative analysis you use for the day trading?
I don't use quantitative analysis. I built my own programming. I built my own program. It's combination theories. It's correlation theories. So I don't use any quantitative analysis. Everything I do is technical analysis.
Yeah. So, and one of the question is, what do you think are the qualities that makes a good trader?
Significant discipline, work ethic, recognizing, that you're not bigger than the market, adhering to stops, preservation of capital, trading the right pattern, don't overtrade. I mean, I can go on and on and on.
So another question is, if the market is moving against you, what step do you take in order to limit your loss?
You have to have stop orders in place. You're not bigger than the market. I mean, today, out of, I think, 90 trades, we had one stop out. You have to be, and then one went right back in and reshorted, and then they dropped again. So we kind of made back the loss on that. So you have to understand that anything can happen at any given time. So you have to, as you're trading the market, you have to recognize the pattern, but a pattern can fail based upon news or anything that you're unsuspected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So another question, what is your advice for experienced trader who wants to become independent and trade like full time?
So you need to have the right setup. You need to know the right asset class you want to trade, that you're comfortable with, whether it's Forex, index futures, commodity futures, or stocks, or combinations of both. Okay. You need to have the right technology in front of you. You need to have the right broker that you're comfortable with execution, and you need to find the right mentor, someone like myself, me, or any whatever, that you feel that person's helping you. Just don't, like, I know people who spend $5,000 on a class and they get nothing out of it. They sit in the classroom and they spend $10,000. This is why I'm doing this. It's a joke. So, I've traded nearly 2 billion shares in my life. So you want to be able to learn from someone that's done it. Didn't come from MIT and I just, passed, and I got great grades. You want someone who's done it, who knows the markets, who knows how things operate and learn his system and learn his methodologies.
That's great. Yeah, I encourage everyone to contact you. And what are the what criteria do you use when you are hiring for your team?
So I really work independently. I mean, I don't really have anybody work with me. I had an assistant once, or 2 assistants over the years who put all my orders in. I think going forward, I go back to trading and start a hedge fund again. I would want people with great listening qualities. I want them to really learn. Hold on a second. So I think if anybody was sitting next to me, I think one of the greatest gifts is the ability to listen.
That's great. So one of the last question is, what can you tell us about the UK market compared to the US, and what is the UK doing right that we can implement?
So I used to get up at 2 o'clock every morning and trade the European session, which I used to trade the pound US dollar, the euro dollar, all the yens and the S&P futures. The number one thing is, if you're going to trade a different market, you need to know any news events that are coming out during the session. You just can't go into trading blind. A week and a half ago, I had someone drive up from Florida. He was having a monster day. And out of nowhere, he decided to short the 30-year bonds. So I came back, I looked at what's the matter? He goes, I got short the bonds. They ran, 12 ticks against me. I said, did you know that the auction was at 1 o'clock? No, I didn't know that. Why are you trading the bonds if you don't know the auction's coming out? Right?
Yeah.
So that's a form of discipline. You need to recognize and understand. If you're going to trade the Tokyo session, the European session, what economic numbers are coming out. No different than the US session.
That's great. So now
Awesome.
people can ask the questions.
Yeah, I was just gonna go in. We have 3 people that has their hands up. We'll go with Irfan first, and then Bandit, and then Kian. So feel free to unmute your mics if you'd like to ask a question.
Thank you, Lani. So my question is, what about once in a lifetime events like the pandemic or any future event which are unpredictable? So if you have a lot of trades put in for that day, you might lose everything. You might end up losing everything. So so I think technical analysis wouldn't work in such when such events occur, right? So how do you stop your losses or maybe prevent losing more money during such events?
Well, I mean, I don't really understand the question. You're saying, like, are you intraday trading that day, or you have positions coming into that day? So we don't hold positions overnight. As being a day trader, you don't want to hold positions overnight. So if you're holding positions overnight, like I'll give you an example. One day I was long 10,000 Starbucks, and it was September 11, 2001. And I saw smoke coming out of the World Trade Center. I was up about 70 cents on Starbucks. And I saw smoke billowing out of the building. And the first thing I said to myself was, the sky's blue. Sell 10,000 Starbucks. Boom, I got out. And something didn't hit me. There was no clouds in the sky, and there was smoke coming out. So the small plane hit the building. I knew it was a terrorist attack. I felt it, right? I sold the 10,000 Starbucks, and within the second building got hit, all the exchanges were frozen and closed. Starbucks opened down 30 points 10 days later. I would have lost, $300,000. So, this is something that I believe there's so much money to be made intraday. And if you could be a great day trader, you don't need to hold positions overnight. You're not bigger than the market. This is my opinion. If you want to do long-term investing, I would wait for significant market sell-offs and then buy like the underlying ETF, like the diamonds, the spiders, the Qs, or the IWMs, and just forget it, you own them. And if they rally 700, 800, 900 points, you sell them. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Irfan. Bandit, you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Danny. Stephen, love your energy, love your passion for trading. I have a couple of questions. Firstly, in terms of technical indicators, what are like the top 3 indicators that you would recommend looking at?
So I look at 4. I look at a standard MACD. I look at buying and selling pressure. I look at my own overbought, oversold oscillator, and I have my own algorithm. So everything I have is preset on my charts, and I use those combination theories in trading. Like just now, I caught a beautiful short and then a phenomenal long on the S&Ps. They ran from 71 to 88. You know what 18 handles, 17 handles on the S&P is like? So most people caught about 13 on one stupid contract. That's $650.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that helps.
Oh, God, look at them go.
And secondly, I just wanted to like know your thoughts on like front running. Like a lot of institutional investors, they've developed algorithms to like predict when that's going to happen. Is there anything that retail investors can do where we can like see the pattern of front running and take advantage of that?
Yeah, so a long time ago, somebody said to me, it's hard to trade the market because all the algorithms jump in the way. Are you crazy? I said to him, are you out of your mind? I don't want to hear that. Just trade the market. You know, I don't want to hear about front running, this running, that running, you know, just trade the market. Stop overthinking. When you think, you stink.
Yeah, that's good advice.
So
Thanks,
stop
Steve.
overthinking. You're a smart guy. Be loosey-goosey. Boom. Okay, let me ask you a question. We shorted the S&Ps. They dropped 10. We called along on the S&Ps. They just ran 17. Did I just beat the market? I just beat the market.
Yeah.
You think I'm worried about an algorithm or front running or you know, algorithms? No. Listen, I only have about 4 more minutes because I have to do a Zoom at my team here at 4:01, 4:02. So any more questions?
Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have one last one from Kian, and then we'll wrap this up.
Kiana, nice to meet you. Kiani? Oh, I think she's bashful.
We can't hear. We can't hear.
You got 2 minutes, Kiani. The pressure is on, Kiani.
Just asking for your phone number.
Okay,
Oh, your phone number is.
my number is 914-500-7484. I return every phone call and text. I would love to have you join. I'll probably give you guys a certain deal. If you become platinum members, I'll give you a good discount going forward. I want to see you guys succeed. You have youth on your side. Take the knowledge. I have 40 years experience. Take the wisdom I have and learn from me and better your life each and every day. Because that's why I do this, to help people all around the world to better their lives. All I ask is one thing. Don't waste my time. And if you really have the passion to learn, that I'm going to teach you not to be good, but to be great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Stephen.
Stephen.
Thank you for your
Stephen.
time.
Okay, Ignacio. Thank you, Lanny. I'd love to do this again. So, and next time, maybe we could do a Zoom instead of this crazy contraption, whatever we did last time here. Okay.
All right,
Of
Steve,
course,
thank
we'd love
you.
to have you back next time. Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye, everybody.
you have
God
a great
bless.
rest of your week.
Bye-bye.
Be well, everybody. Bye-bye. Wow, look at the S&Ps. Go, guys.
So
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ignacio. I think we'll go on with our program with a few announcements before we wrap up the call.
yeah, thank you everyone. So for our upcoming event, we have the application for the ZFC trading competition, which is gonna open on like Saturday, February 4th, and it will close on Saturday, February 18th. And so information session, you have to like stay tuned for the day. And they also have an upcoming event for the MBA Club. It's a US-China Economics Relationship panel. It's on February 16th, in person on campus. And there are going to be like more GFC events are on the way from NASDAQ and KVRA. So I want to like thank you everyone for joining today. And Lenny, do you want to say anything?
Yes, actually, if you could go back to the upcoming events really quickly, I want to remind everybody that while we have the application form for the ZFC trading competition open this Saturday, February 4th, we will be having an information session next Saturday after that, after the application opens, which is Saturday, February 11th, around 2 o'clock, which will be hosted by Sarabi and Michael Gannon, which are both our lead facilitators for the trading competition. So I would look out for the invitations for that, for you to sign up. And then another upcoming event that we will be having, we have an investment banker from RBC Capital, if I'm not mistaken, but hoping to have him by the end of February. So I would look out for that as well, which will be around the same time that we start the ZFC trading competition. And again, also, since this is a collaboration with the MBA Club, I would encourage you to also check them out. Look out for their link tree and their Instagram for any other events that are upcoming for their club as well. But I think that's all I have.
And one more thing from Steven just texted me, and he told me that he'll give a special deal for everyone who was here connected. So that's one of the good things about being a member here. So you can text him for the number that he gave you, and he'll give you you guys a special offer if you guys were connected, if you guys want to start trading with him or something. So that's all from my side.
Awesome. Thank you, Ignacio. And again, we thank you for bringing this opportunity in for us. This was very helpful and such a good energy to start with in our semester, given that this is our second week during school days. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ignacio. Like, it was a really nice experience for us. Thank you so much. Thank you.